Welcome back everybody to another video. This is part 2 of 3. If you missed the first part, I'll leave the link in the description. In this little mini series, I'm just giving you guys information for information purposes on the sound quality and performance of the equipment that I have. I'll put them head to head and which one I would choose because I'm unbiased. But in this video, it's gonna be the Arcam 550 versus the Arcam 390. In the last video, the Arcam 390 I chose over the Marantz AV7706. So I'm gonna put the 390 against the 550. Now I'm gonna continue using the external amp for the 390 by Rotel RKB 8100, which is 100 watts, all channels driven, and that's a 8-channel external amp. And we're gonna use the internal amp of the Arcam 550, which is 7 channels driven, would be 90 watts per channel. And the configuration we're gonna use the 5.2.2. The Arcam, both Arcams, they're capable of doing 4K at 60, 1080p at 120 Hertz. Dolby Atmos DTS-X compatible, enhanced audio return channel, and support 7.1.4 channels, and they both come with a full set of pre-outs. Quick recap on the rating system so you guys get an idea of the sound quality. The less than good category, that's under $1,000. I consider you might get some distortion in your speaker, even though the processor doesn't really cause a distortion. But at that price point, more than likely, you're not going to spend too much money on your speaker. For the good category, under $3,000, in reference value, you might not get distortion, but you're not going to have enough power coming from your amp to push what you need. In the better category, under $6,000, you're going to have enough power at reference volume, but you're just going to have the feeling that it could be better. Now, remember, this price here, it's the processor combined with the amp price. And then for the best category, under $8,000, you're going to get plenty of juice, plenty of power. At reference volume, is going to be no distortion. You're going to get more thump, and you're going to feel like that's the best money can buy, and you're going to be satisfied and not look for nothing else. On Beyond Best, that's more so of anything over $8,000. That's more so of like if you got a big dedicated theater room with theater seatings and a big projection screen. So a processor for that will have to be able to process all that power to fill that whole dedicated theater. So that's something that I don't have theater seatings yet, nor that I don't plan to in the future. The wife would kill me if I turn my basement into a dedicated theater with theater seating. So that's not in my cards, and I'm happy where I'm at. Now, these Arcams, obviously they're from the same lineup, which is the FMJ lineup. And some of the experts say that in general, the amplifier brand does not really make too much of a difference, but the difference comes with what the wattage it can provide from that brand. That being said, in this video, it's gonna come down to the amp. So that's gonna be the internal amp of the Arcam, which is 90 watts per channel, against the Arcam 390, which is the external amp that I'm using for that, is the Rotel RKB 8100 at 100 watts per channel. So the 550 at 90 watts internal amp, the 390 external amp at 100 watts by Rotel. And I'm gonna have to choose between the two. Even though they sound great, I'm gonna have to choose the AVR 550 by Arcam. And they both the Arcam 550 and the Arcam 390, they both fall under the best category. It's just that between the two, I could not distinguish between the processing, sound processing, and the separations. The sound separation was identical, even though one I use as a separate component and the other I use the processor and amp combo internally. They pretty much sounded good, of course, but like they sounded the same, very similar. And of course they had plenty of power. Both had plenty of power, plenty of juice, plenty of rumble with its amp. So that's another reason why I chose that. And also the 550, since it matches the power of the external amp that was at 100 watts, which is not much more of a difference, but still is 100 watts, right? So if it matches that 100 watts from the 90, it's gonna even be better when if I use a higher wattage of external amp with the 550. So the next video is gonna be the 550 pre-outs with the Rotel amplifier, the RKB 8100 at 100 watts against the dedicated processor of my Rotel Mark IIs. So, and they're both gonna use the RKB 8100 pushing 100 watts. And then I'm gonna do the test again and see which one I do choose between the two. So that's the verdict here, guys. Like I said, on the standard rating system, if you have, I might do this more with other ones in the future, but in the better category, that's already good enough, guys. Just so you guys know, like I don't think you guys need to go any better than better, right? Unless you're like me, who want the best money can buy, but at the same time not spend a fortune and convert your whole make a dedicated home theater room, which is awesome, don't get me wrong, but it's just not in the cards for me. So that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. Like, subscribe, comment below, keep it friendly, but my time is up. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hooded Dragons out.